Yo, do me a quick favor before we get started. Leave a comment below. Click subscribe. Follow us on YouTube and Spotify. Every major media platform. Big Zo Podcast everywhere. Let's go, Big Zo Podcast. Miz on me, Miz on me, Miz on me.
Miz on me, Miz on me, Miz on me. Welcome to the Big Zoe Podcast. I go by the name of Berto.
This your boy Beast on the beat.
Yo, today topic what we're gonna be talking about pretty much the last four teams remaining in the NBA. This is another NBA podcast topic. We're just gonna focus on the NBA. We're gonna focus on which team is gonna go to the NBA Finals out of the out of the final four. Who do you got, Beast?
I got Miami versus LA going to the finals. You know what I'm saying? But it's two tough series, especially with the Eastern Conference Finals. Miami's up. I think it's over for Boston.
Mm-hmm.
I think Boston might win Game 3.
Yeah.
The worst scenario, even if it goes 7, I think Miami's going to win that series. And for the LA finals, it's tricky. I mean, it's not really tricky, but I just need Anthony Davis and LeBron James to step up, as well as the big mans, McGee and Dwight, against the Joker. But those are the two finals team I got going to the championship. Who you got?
All right, so pretty much we're doing this podcast a little late because there was a little, upset alert in the West Conference. So it was waiting for one team to finish Game 7. Obviously, you guys know who that team won Game 7. We're gonna talk about it later. Right now the Miami Heat is up 2-0. So it's easy to pick Miami right now, but I just feel Miami is on fire right now. It feels like a college, like March Madness type of feel to these playoffs. We got a couple upsets. Miami, obviously they're the favorites to go to the finals now because they're up 2-0. And I agree with you. I pick Miami. And obviously the landslide favorite in the West is the Lakers against the Denver Nuggets. But now I think everybody should calm down. Usually when something is too good to be true, it's kind of too good to be true. What I mean by that, everybody already saying Lakers going to win 4-0. Hey, just be careful. Because at the end of the day, when we first did the part 1 to this video, we said the surprise team in the West, I know we picked Denver, and I forgot who was the other team we picked?
Portland.
Oh, yeah, we picked Portland because they had so much power.
Portland and Denver, yeah.
But we did say that
Denver in a couple years.
Denver going to win a championship in the next couple of years.
Right.
Now, we didn't know it was going to be this quick or close to winning a championship. So that's why I say when it's too good to be true, Denver match up perfect with Lakers, and Lakers match up perfect with Denver.
It's LeBron, bro. We got LeBron the King and Anthony Davis the sidekick. You don't need nothing else to beat that team.
Listen, I'm a Lakers fan. I'm a Lakers fan. Everybody know I'm a Lakers fan. But what you must understand, like, I know Charles Barkley saying guaranteed. It made me nervous because Charles Barkley said he guaranteed Lakers gonna win the series. Hey, I gotta pause on that.
All right, so let's look at the Nuggets got 2 players. They got Murray and they got Joker.
But right? Nuggets are a deeper team though. Nuggets roster is way better than the Lakers roster.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the matchups. Like y'all can definitely match up. And if Anthony Davis get tired, like I think I should start small with Anthony Davis at the 5. You know what I'm saying? And when he does get tired, you put Dwight or you put McGee in, and I think them guys can hold themselves against Joker, especially like, you know what I'm saying? These guys are defensive minded, you know what I'm saying? And offense, you just run the ball through LeBron and AD. So I'm saying, like, y'all match up very, very well. with the Denver Nuggets. And I mean, Denver, you gotta give them credit because they made it to the Western Conference Finals. But what's one thing we know that hinders them is they don't play defense. Like, they're long. You know what I'm saying? And like,
I understand.
you gotta give credit to Joker because he's been playing defense and he's not a defensive player.
But one thing I asked you, what was the key of last series against Houston? Rondo stepped up. You had what's the pizza guy that everybody joking around? What's his name? The one that look like a pizza delivery guy.
Your boy Caruso.
Caruso stepped up, and I know Kyle Kuzma had like 17 in the last game. But my point is, for the Lakers, you need a third guy to step up in this series because Denver is deep. They're deep. And one thing I like about them, they're young. The only oldest person on the team is Paul Millsap, and he barely plays. But you see, he was the one that stepped up. If I'm not mistaken, in Game 5 versus the versus the Clippers, he's the one that stepped up and had like 17 points. Came off the bench and had like 17, and he had like I think 15 in the third quarter. He was the one that made a push. But I'm saying this. Denver, they're young, they're dangerous. I'm not saying Lakers not gonna win. Obviously, Lakers gonna win. But everybody that's saying it's 4-zip, this is a series you guys should be careful with.
Yeah, I didn't say it's gonna be 4-zip, but I said Lakers definitely going to the finals, and y'all definitely match up with them. I don't see.
I mean,
I don't see who besides Joker and Murray. Who else can you say is the third guy for them?
I could go with Paul Millsap coming off the bench. I go with Michael Porter Jr.
No,
I go with Harris.
Paul Millsap starts, and then Michael Porter Jr. He's a defensive liability, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying?
But on offense, he could take off. On offense,
you guys can match up with him as well.
Woo!
So you can't tell me Anthony Davis. Well, Anthony Davis is not going to guard him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
LeBron definitely could guard the man.
Yeah, but you don't want LeBron on him. That's the thing. They're not going to make LeBron. They're not going to put LeBron on him. Because he forgot this dude is 6'11". He could pull up. He could, like, I'm not saying like he's Kevin Durant, but I'm saying like in 2 years, mark this video, in 2 years, we might be talking about him being the best player on that team. And it sounds crazy today, because especially when they got Joker and they got Murray. But people forget, coming out of high school, he was going to be the #1 pick. ESPN top 50 or top 100. He was a #1 high school player. It's because he had injury with his back. He had a couple injuries. That's why he fell out of the top 5 in the NBA draft. But this dude, Michael Porter Jr., I'm telling you.
I hear you. You see, this is the thing. You talk about this man potential. Everything you just said, I agree with, because that's the man potential. What we talking about today, you know what I'm saying, right now in this series, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think, like, I think y'all can stop the man, you know what I'm saying? For this series, I think y'all can stop the man. The Lakers ain't got to, like, worst case scenario, it's 4-2, man. 4-2 Lakers, man.
All right, man. So, I mean, we're in agreement. I got the series either going 6 or 7 games. I don't think it's gonna be a 4-zip Lakers. I mean, obviously, I still got Lakers winning the series either way. All right, and we both are in agreement. So it's gonna be Miami Heat versus the Lakers in the NBA Finals. And that's a surprise.
Yeah, definitely. I love it.
so let's move forward. So today the 2020 NBA MVP came out. The results came out, and your boy Giannis Antetokounmpo, I know I'm saying it wrong, but the Greek freak, he won the MVP, man. What you think about that?
I think LeBron was snubbed. I think LeBron was definitely deserving of MVP, especially the fact that he's still.
Are you saying that because of the results of the playoff, or was that your mindset when the NBA season ended? because I see two people got two different mindset. It's called the NBA regular season MVP. It's not the NBA postseason MVP.
So this is how it went for me. I gave the Greek Freak the head until the game that they played the Lakers. Like, to me, they were neck and neck. In the game that they played the Lakers, I think LeBron showed like he was the king, you know what I'm saying? And they played the Clippers that same weekend and beat them. So I gave LeBron the slight edge, and then we had Corona and they stopped. And then to restart, LeBron restarted, and LeBron is still in the playoffs, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm giving it to LeBron, bro. This man in his 17th year doing this. You got to give it to him, you know what I'm saying? But Giannis won it again.
All right. I have some time thinking about it. I think my opinion is Giannis deserves to win the MVP just because they have the best record in the NBA. And if I'm not mistaken, they had a number one defense in the NBA also. It's the regular season MVP. I think that's what people get it mixed up with. Yeah, I know because of the results of the NBA playoffs. Now people are seeing, hindsight 2020. Well, he shouldn't be the MVP, but it's the regular season MVP. And if you really think about it, the problem with LeBron being the MVP, and I understand, obviously I feel he was second, but you can make an argument Anthony Davis should be an MVP. If I'm not mistaken, Anthony Davis came, I think, in second or third place in defensive player of the year. And Anthony Davis is leading the team in every stats except for assists.
So how many of those are coming from LeBron assists? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you got to give it to LeBron. LeBron is attracting double teams, you know what I'm saying, and the pick and rolls and stuff that he does. And he's doing that in his 17th year. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, I'll definitely give it to Giannis, but I do see what you're saying.
So you will give LeBron the MVP because it's a better storyline. Because if you really think about it, Anthony Davis, he's been balling this year too. Like, I can make an argument for him being the MVP because if you think about it, LeBron numbers were the same last year.
Yeah, I'll definitely give it because of the storyline. Because I never heard of somebody in the 17th year doing stuff that LeBron does. You know what I'm saying? And that's like,
and I must admit, I feel the same way. That's why I had LeBron second as MVP. But I can understand why they gave it to the Greek Freak because pretty much he was by himself, and they had the number one record in the East. But either way, what LeBron is doing is great. 17 years just broke. I think he just passed. He just passed Kobe and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar because they both had 15 All NBA or something like that. It was something like that, and LeBron has the highest with 16 or something, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, man, LeBron is doing his thing, man. All right, so let's move on to the next topic or next question. What would you say so far has been surprising to you this NBA season?
Without a doubt, man, the Clippers losing to the Nuggets, man. That's my biggest surprise. Like, y'all boys was ready to, you know what I mean? Y'all was so ready to be champs, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Y'all was clowning Portland, telling y'all to send them home. Yeah. And the Nuggets sent y'all home. So it's like, that was the biggest surprise to me. The biggest choke. Like, hey, we gotta start talking about Paul George, man. Like,
according to Skip, he's George Paul.
Yeah, you gotta start talking about George Paul, man.
All right. Obviously the biggest surprise it hit us like a couple of days ago was the Clippers. I thought Giannis was the biggest surprise too, just how they I think Giannis is more of a bigger surprise because they basically got killed. It was basically a sweep, even though it wasn't a sweep, it was 4-1. It was pretty much a sweep. They got lucky the last game. But that was a surprise, basically, because they couldn't even get like 2 or 3 games, and then they didn't go to game 7. The Clippers, it was a surprise because everybody expected them to be in the Western Conference Final against the Lakers. Now the question is, everybody's saying, is this the biggest choke job in NBA history? I would say no, just because people forgot, I think in 2016, the Golden State Warriors was up 3-1. And that's the biggest choke job because they won 73 games. They broke all type of record, and they were the defending champs. Where with the Clippers there wasn't even the defending champ. I mean, don't get me wrong, okay. Yeah, they didn't win a championship, but they were like, it was either them or the Lakers supposed to win a championship. That was like obvious. Vegas had them number one. Damn, I'm just mad I didn't bet on this game. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. Anybody that said, I don't even think Denver fans seen that shit coming.
No.
Like, I mean, that was the biggest surprise. Now the question, do you think, or two questions. Number one, do you think Doc Rivers should be coming back next year as the coach? And number two, who are you giving who are you giving the worst credit to? Who's the reason why they lost? Who are you giving the most blame to?
I'm giving Doc a lot of blame, but I'll definitely give him another shot at his job. But it's like, bro, there's some games you guys were up double digits. You know what I'm saying? And lost those games. That's definitely coaching. And
Game 6, yep. Game 6, there was up double digits.
And like, yeah, that's definitely a lot of X and O's to me. Like, bro, you had Ty Lue on the bench with you. You had Sam Cassell. Like, why are you guys can't hold leads and stuff like that? And then it's like on offense, like, okay, like game 7, where Kawhi Leonard only scored like 2 points or something.
Yeah.
And like, that's all X and O's to me. You know what I'm saying? You got to find ways. I mean, he blamed it on the coach as well, slightly.
Yeah.
So it's like,
took some shots.
So it's like, it's definitely on Doc Rivers. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but Doc Rivers, that's how Doc Rivers was. He's always the type of coach. Even when he's down, like, he let his players figure it out.
Yeah, he has a trust for his players. Yeah.
But it's like, how much? But also, it's also on the players. Like, it's like these guys were gassed out in game 7. You know what I'm saying? It's like they mentally was just waiting for the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? And the Nuggets just like, it was there. They expected to cruise by the Lakers. I mean, cruise by the Nuggets and get ready for the Lakers, and it was just like they crumbled.
All right.
I definitely give coaching like 75% and players about 25.
Oh damn.
Yeah, because, bro, you can't be up by 15. Like, think about it. It's not even in the Nugget series, even in the Dallas series. Like, go up 7. You went to like 2, 3 game 7s, bro. Like, that's crazy, bro.
I would say, damn, it's like you get Doc Rivers 75%, the players 25%. I would disagree with you, just because coming into the bubble, the Clippers players, they even want to show up. You know, Montrez, he didn't want to show up. He came in late. Lemon Pepper Lou, you already know what that nickname stands for, a.k.a. Magic City. Even though he was in the Magic Kingdom, he didn't want to be there. And even when they stopped the bubble because of the Jacob Blake situation when he got shot, what was the first team or the first 2 teams that said they're not going to continue? It was the Lakers. Who was right behind them was the Clippers. So that lets you know the Clippers mindset. They wasn't even in the bubble. I'm not blaming Doc for that, because a lot of people don't know Doc had to talk Lou Williams into coming into the bubble. It was a last minute thing. And number 2, my whole thing is, I watched that game. I will give Doc Rivers maybe 25% blame. And the reason why I say this, because George Paul, a.k.a. Paul George, he shot 2 shots from the backboard. I ain't never seen that by a superstar. I don't even think I ever seen that in an NBA game like that. he shot 2 shots hitting the backboard. Meaning, if you think about it, Kawhi Leonard played great that series. He only had an issue game 7. Go look at the numbers. He played great that series. And maybe he ran out of gas, or maybe there was a pressure. He had only one bad game, and that was game 7. Obviously, that was the worst time to have a bad game. But when you're having a bad game, you need your sidekick to help you out. Paul George, he's been inconsistent throughout the whole entire playoff. You remember the first round when Dallas was cooking him? He was saying that he was mentally ill. I mean, because he was feeling depression because he was in the bubble and stuff. So my whole thing is, I'm giving Doc Rivers 25% of the blame. I'm giving Kawhi Leonard 25% of the blame, and I'm giving Paul George 50% of the blame. And you're gonna say, why are you giving Paul George 50% of the blame? Number one, he's your sidekick. He's supposed to step up. He didn't step up at all throughout the playoff, and he definitely didn't step up in Game 7. And what's the history on Paul George? Every game facing elimination, what does he do? He chokes. That's why Skip called him George Paul. He chokes. And sometimes we got to realize, like, who these players are. Like Russell Westbrook, James Harden, Paul George. Like, these guys, every year in the playoffs, something always go wrong. Like, one thing you could say is going to be consistent with them. They're gonna have a bad game when you need them, or when you counted on them, they're not going to deliver. So that's why I'm not going to blame on Paul George, because if you watch the game, if you watch the game, it wasn't even Doc Rivers. All them players was missing shots. And I'm gonna do 25% on Doc Rivers, 25% Kawhi Leonard, 25% I'm gonna change the Paul George, 25% Paul George, because I believe he's a superstar. Everybody say he's a top 10 player. Everybody say he's a superstar. But a lot of people say he's a top 10 player. A lot of people do say he's a top 10 player. And I'm gonna give 25% to the rest of the role players, because Lou Williams and Montez, they're 6 men of the year. These guys average 18 and 20 points. To their credit, in the regular season, they did not step up at all in the playoff. That's my opinion.
I hear you, but at the end of the day, the coach is responsible for that.
So it's Doc's fault that he's shooting the ball on the backboard. It's Doc's fault that Lou Williams is missing a layup.
It's Doc's fault that his players are not responding. You said the Lakers were going through the same thing. You said the Lakers didn't want to be in the bubble too, but the Lakers are
no. Lakers.
You said Lakers were the first team.
No, they were the first team when the Jacob Blake situation happened. It wasn't like Lakers didn't want to be in a bubble. It was LeBron James got mad because the way what's the team in? The Bucks, the Milwaukee Bucks handled the situation. They did not talk to CP3 and Chris Paul and LeBron James. They did not have communication with Chris Paul, LeBron James, or the rest of the NBA, and they decided to go out on their own and do their own thing. LeBron was fed up about that. And that's what LeBron said, man, screw that effort. I'm out of the bubble. And because LeBron said he's out of the bubble, everybody followed him. Of course, his team is going to follow them. But since day one, the Clippers did not want to be in a bubble since day one. It's not – if your coach got to beg you – like, if your coach – it's a championship. You're the favorite to win a championship. If your coach got to, talk to you to come and play, then what do you hear Paul George said at the exit interview? He said, well, a lot of we felt pressure to deliver a championship. What the heck? Then he said, I'm just paraphrasing what he said. Something to it was too much pressure to deliver a championship because we was heavily favored. That's why he never won a championship. If you're feeling the pressure, that lets you know he's not that type of guy. You just
the one that just told me he's a superstar.
No. I said they consider him as a superstar. Okay, let's be real. 90% of the people in the NBA, they say Paul George is a superstar. Yes or no?
There's an all-star to me. That's about it.
To me, he's an all-star, but they consider him a top 10 player, and they consider him a superstar. They always did that. They always did that.
Let's move forward. What do you think the Clippers need to do now?
I think they're good. Just bring the whole team back. If you really think about the Clippers team, they was only built for one team. It was built for the Lakers. I felt instead of trading for either Reggie Jackson or one of the Marquise Morris, they should have traded for like a big man, traded for Clint Capella or something. I felt they built the team for the Lakers. They didn't
So
build
why
the team
was
for the Denver Nuggets. That's why they had no answer for Nurkic. They had no answer for the center.
so why you want them to come back? What if they meet the Nuggets again?
I think if we beat the Nuggets, they'll beat. If they meet up with the Nuggets, I think they will definitely beat the Nuggets. Just because I think if you think about it, Clippers is a better team. They did not take the Nuggets serious, and I think it's because of the whole bubble situation. It caught everybody off guard with the bubble, and they wasn't ready for it, and they didn't want to be in the bubble from the beginning. But I think now if you bring everybody back and they ask us humble, especially Kiki Key and Patrick Beverly, how Dame Dollars, you see how Dame Dollars went off his ass. Dame Dollars lied his ass up and said we could share the same private plane in Cancun. And but that's another topic for another day. I mean, at the end of the day, look, I think people overreact. Usually when a team comes together the first time, most of the time they don't usually win a championship. It takes like either the second year. At the end of the day, look, they're a great team. I know there was complaining about chemistry, but I don't know how you fix that if Kawhi Leonard is not going to play. I mean, obviously, I didn't expect Paul George to miss that much game in the regular season, but at the end of the day, I think they should just bring it back. I mean, even whatever happened in the West, they should just bring it back. I know Golden State's going to be better. Unless Golden State happen to keep like those three players and get the Greek Freak, I mean, all best is over for everybody, obviously. But other than that, if their other teams still stay the same, I think they should just bring it back.
That's another thing. What do you think Giannis going to do?
I mean, I know he unfollowed his teammates. He met with the owner for 3 hours, which, in my opinion, no meeting takes 3 hours. If you got to meet somebody for 3 hours, that means they kept persuading you. Either the food was that good, and the man skinny as hell, so I know he ain't eating that. He ain't eating all the food like that. So that let me know they was feeding them a whole bunch of BS, and they was probably begging them and having a conversation with them.
Right.
My whole thing, it don't take no damn 3 hours for you to have a meeting, especially a dinner meeting. And number two, look, we're about to find out when the NBA season, what he's gonna do. It's reported they're gonna offer him as soon as the season's over. They'll be able to offer him 5 years, $234 million. Obviously, that's a lot of money. If he declined, what does that mean? Your ass better trade him.
Yeah.
And if you don't trade him, you're betting on and I know there's rumors that say they're gonna trade for Chris Paul. Now, obviously, if they had the same Chris Paul that was in the playoff this year, I believe it would have been the Bucks going to the NBA Finals. But here's the thing that people's not understanding: you're hoping Chris Paul is going to be the same Chris Paul that he was in the playoffs this year for next year. Number one, he's going to be older. Number two, what's the history of Chris Paul in the playoffs? He always get hurt, or even in regular season, he always get hurt. So that's not guaranteed. Right. Then, if I'm the Bucks, why would I trade for Chris Paul and pick up his bad? I mean, I'm not going to say it's a bad contract, but it's a big contract.
Yeah. It's a big contract, especially you aging.
Yeah, and he's aging. Is a big contract, and be stuck with him for like 2 or 3 years after Giannis leave. Right. Like, why would I pick up that deal? And number three, look, I said this from the beginning. I thought Golden State was going to get a number 1 pick, but they got a number 2 pick. I know people saying, okay, he might go to Miami, this and that. I don't know. I'm saying Golden State, and mark my word, they have a good chance of getting him. Package a number 2 pickup with Andrew Wiggins and then any other of their players.
That's their best bet though.
And if I was running the Minnesota Timberwolves, they got the cap space. If I was running the Minnesota Timberwolves, I would literally trade them straight up with the number 1 pick. I would say you can have anybody on my team, any future picks for Giannis, and I would put Giannis, Karl Anthony Towns, and D'Angelo Russell. I'm not saying they're a super big 3, but Minnesota got to do something. Even if
I
Minnesota
ain't gonna
dropped a
lie, that
number
ain't
one
gonna
pick,
work though.
then, huh?
I don't think it'll work.
You know, I said it'll work because D'Angelo Russell
I
can
mean,
play off the
it
ball.
will work. It will
D'Angelo,
work, but they're gonna need more shooters. They definitely gonna need more shooters.
I think with them, I think if you get them in their team, I think you'll have mid level players will come and sign with them. I understand it's in Minnesota. No one wants to go to Minnesota,
That's
but
what I'm saying.
but
It's just like the Bucks situation.
no. But that's different. You tell me if you got D'Angelo Russell and Karl Anthony Town, two young players, and you put them with Wig and you put them with the Greek Freak. Think about it. D'Angelo Russell's a point guard and he's a shooting guard. He can play off the ball. Towns is a big man that can spread the floor, and so you're opening more shots for the Greek Freak to go inside the paint and do whatever he wants. I think that's a perfect fit. Mind you, I will probably get another head coach and try to get more experienced coach because it's letting me know you're trying to win right now. Because the NBA is going to get better either way. And I don't see Giannis and the Bucks going anywhere because here's a storyline that no one's talking about. Kevin Durant is coming back. Kyrie Irving is coming back. That Brooklyn team, without them boys, they were deep. That Brooklyn team, they left a lot of players home because of coronavirus, and you see what they did in the bubble. So say what y'all want to say, and Miami has a cap space to get one max player without
I
trading
think
any of the guys. Now Miami's 10-1 in the NBA playoffs with Jimmy Butler and the rest of the role players. And I'm not gonna call them a bust or anything, but they're great, they're good young players. And I think
yeah.
Bio what's his name? What's the center name?
Bam.
Bio? Yeah, Bam. I think
Bam
Bam
Adebayo.
Bam Adebayo, I believe he's gonna. I mean, he was an all-star this year. I believe he's gonna get better. He's gonna get better. He's gonna get better. He has potential to be
Yeah.
a superstar. He's young. He's gonna get better. But
Hey, Tyler
because
Hero is well,
Tyler Hero's
man.
gonna get
Tyler
better,
Hero is gonna be all
and
star.
Pat Riley's trying to go for an all-star because obviously Bam is on his rookie deal.
Yeah.
Tyler Hero's
Hero
on a rookie deal. So
and
this is
Duncan.
so in the next 2 years you gotta go get a max player. And I
Yeah.
guarantee you, you're in South Beach. They're 10-1. You're in Miami. Somebody's coming. I don't know
Somebody's
who's
coming,
coming,
baby.
but somebody's coming.
Yes, sir. Hey, speaking about the Nets, what do you think about the signing with Steve Nash?
All right,
I
so
loved it.
here's the thing with Steve Nash. I know Steve Nash Smith caught some flack by saying that was white privilege, him signing, and I agree with Steve Nash Smith. I 100% agree with Steve Nash Smith. Or I get it. People say it's a relationship that he has with I guess with Kevin Durant. That's the reason why they picked him up, and a relationship with the GM. Also, because a lot of people don't know the GM and Steve Nash played on the same team back in the day in Phoenix. Is it a good hire? I don't even know if it's a good hire. I mean, but here's my point is, it don't matter if Kevin Durant is Kevin Durant. Obviously, he has the worst injury in the sports history is the Achilles. Everybody know the definition of Achilles. Every player that has the Achilles, they never come back as the same. I love DeMarcus Cousins. He had Achilles. What happened? Put so much pressure in his legs. He tore his ACL. So that being said, it's only going to go as far as if Kevin Durant is still Kevin Durant. Meaning, if he's 100%, he doesn't get hurt, and he's still the Kevin Durant, the MVP type of player, the number one and number two player in the NBA. You can make an argument between him and LeBron. If he's that guy, it doesn't matter who's coaching that team. They go into the finals next year. That's my opinion. But what do I think about the Steve Nash hire? I don't know. Just to be honest, like Stephen A. Smith said, it was white privilege. Because my whole thing is Nate McMillan, Indiana Pacers coach, he got fired. 4 years he made it to the playoff. He had the fourth seed or the fifth seed. Mind you, Oladipo broke his leg. That's supposed to be his all-star player. Who's his other all-star player this year was Sabonis. He didn't even come to the bubble.
Yeah.
So how in the world does he get fired? That's number one. So Stephen A. Smith white privilege, usually when black coaches get jobs, they will get the worst jobs. They're not getting the best jobs. They're getting the worst jobs. Like, for example, with the Golden State, every year that Mark Jackson was in the Golden State, it got better every year. Mark Jackson was the one that was saying, look, these two guys, they're the best shooting backcourt in NBA history. And if you go back in the day, everybody was looking at Mark Jackson crazy or he don't know what he's talking about. And mind you, he was saying that when Steph Curry had a bum ankle. A lot of people don't forget he was saying that when Steph Curry had a bum ankle. Now, would Mark Jackson win a championship? Probably yes, probably no. But if I had to put money on it, he would still win a championship. So what I'm saying that usually coaches, people forget before Mark Jackson got to go to state, there was a terrible team. Well, that's when Stephen says white privilege. Coaches are like they usually get the coach that black coaches are usually get the worst. And even Brian Scott said it too. He said black coaches get the worst jobs, and they give them 2 or 3 years to build it, and if they can't build it, they fire them. Or when you have a team that's in a come up, like a team that's in a come up, like a Golden State, and you know they're about to be talented, and you know they got a chance to be better, they won't even let the black coach finish the career with them. So my point is, was it a good hire? I mean, I don't know if it was a good hire or not. I just think it's about who you know. But I will say this. Out of everything that's going around in this world, especially with Kyrie Irving, one day he want to be an advocate. One day he want to be representing Black Lives Matter. He want to do this. If you're going to talk about race, you Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant, why are you not promoting black coaches? You have the power to promote black coaches and hire any black coach you want. All right, a guy like Nick McMillan. Nick McMillan, people forgot, he did a great job in Portland. People forgot, he did a good job in Portland when Brandon Ward was the best player. He tore his ACL. He ended up retiring. Then what he did in Indiana, you could have got a guy like Nick McMillan. You could have got a Mark Jackson, which I don't know. Maybe you could tell me why Mark Jackson can't get it. He can't even get a damn interview, bro. And Mark Jackson,
man, man.
Okay, that's another topic we're gonna talk for another day about Mark Jackson. But I'm saying if I was Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, I would have been like, bro, what about Mark Jackson?
But all right, so let me ask you this. Let me talk about this. The NBA now is players coach. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta be a players coach. Like Greg Popovich definitely got that respect. You know what I'm saying? Steve Kerr got that respect. And like Steve Nash been around the game where the players respect him. You know what I'm saying? You talk about Nick McMillan, who's a good coach, of course, but what player you can say that can vouch for him? You know what I'm saying?
But what players have he ever coached? He never had an all-star player.
I'm saying he had Oladipo.
But let's be real. Let's be real.
But what I'm trying to say is
superstar player, bro. And the reason I bring out Nick McMillan because I feel like, look, he overachieved. I don't think anybody thought like they was gonna I think beat Boston last year or even beat Miami this year. They didn't have the two. I mean, obviously they had Oladipo, but everybody know he had a broken leg. He was coming back, and it was a bonus. It was a bonus. He didn't even show up in the bubble. He decided to opt out because of the coronavirus. But my point is saying, okay, what about Ty Lue? Ty Lue's a championship head coach. They could have got Ty Lue.
But I'm saying you hear Ty Lue's name around because he's a player coach. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like for that situation, his name was bubbling around, taking the next job. So it's like you gotta be a player's coach. Like your players gotta want to play for you, gotta want to, you know what I'm saying, talk for you. Like to me, the Nate McMillan situation was definitely fucked up, of course. And I think he'll have another job. You know what I'm saying? But it's like even the Nets coach, Jackie Vaughn, he's a good.
Yeah, I mean he got coach. Screwed. Like you talking about the assistant coach that took over.
That took over.
He got screwed, but they basically worked the deal out with him that they would have him as the highest paid assistant coach. So that's why he's coming back to the team. But that's what I'm saying. Even as a black man, like think about it, he did a great job, and he didn't have any players on his team. I mean, obviously he had the players, but the players decided not to come to the bubble because of the coronavirus. They decided to opt out, and he did a great job. And it was basically it's like you're in a job interview. You had the best interview, and they tell you, well,
check this out, bro.
We don't think we should give you the job.
But check this out. If you go down the line and ask players who they're more comfortable, is it Jock or is it Steve Nash? Most people are gonna go with Steve Nash. That's what I'm saying.
You talking about the Nets players? I would disagree. I don't think the Nets players will go for the Jack.
Those about NBA players. I'm talking about NBA players.
But we're not talking about. We're talking about the Nets players though, because
Yeah,
this is a net hire.
No, it's not a net hire. It's a Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving hire. You know what I'm
I
saying?
don't
That's
think
what
it's
I
a
said. You
Kyrie
got
Irving. It was a Kevin Durant guy because everybody's pointing fingers at Kevin
yeah,
Durant.
but you know Kevin Durant gonna go talk to Kyrie about it. He's gonna ask Kyrie, you think Steve Nash, and he has to okay. So he has to have a relationship with Steve Nash where Kyrie will be like, okay, I can learn from this guy. You know what I'm saying? This guy was a 2-time MVP. You know what I'm saying? I can learn from this guy. He could have said, no, I don't want this guy. Just like he made Kevin Durant leave the Knicks to come to the Nets. You know what I'm saying? He could have did the same thing. Like, no, I don't want this coach. I want this coach. I want Ty Lue. You know what I'm saying?
You
He could have did
remember?
that.
You remember when the Knicks fired Kenny Atkins, their head coach? What was going rumors around? They said Kyrie wanted who?
Yeah, I mean, Kyrie fired the man.
No, they said Kyrie wanted Ty Lue to be the coach.
That's what they said, but I don't think that's just true.
That's what they said. So that lets you know the only finger they pointing out, they're saying, okay, the reason why Steve Nash is the coach because of the relationship with the GM, obviously, but of Kevin Durant. But my whole thing is, as Black people, even if we're more qualified, because Steve Nash never coached, you got a guy in the Nets as assistant coach that basically had a job interview, and he did the best possible job interview. He had the best results as a job interview. He still didn't get hired. You got another coach that's in the Clippers that is a championship coach. First of all, a championship coach that got fired after 5 games of the following season. And he's a championship coach. You're telling me he doesn't have a job? He's a championship coach. He got to go to be an assistant coach. And when you go to assistant coach, what does that mean? You're starting all over again to get back up. So that's when Stephen A. Smith said white privilege, you can see where that comes from.
I hear you, Berto, but it's not like Ty Lue's not gonna get a job. This man was like literally trying to see where he wants to go. So Ty Lue, and that's what I'm saying. Ty Lue's a player coach. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Those player coaches gotta be. What you call is not a player. Like, give me another coach that's a Black coach that's a player coach.
Mark Jackson. To this day,
right.
you remember Steph Curry? You remember Steph Curry said that he didn't want Mark Jackson fired.
We're not gonna talk about. Bro, we already know Mark Jackson's blackball, so I'm saying you can't even talk about Mark Jackson. Give me somebody else.
Okay, I just told you the assistant coach.
He's not a player. He's not a player's coach, bro. Nobody knows this guy.
The players love them. DeAndre Jordan, the Brooklyn players love them. If you hear the Brooklyn players, they talk highly of them.
Yeah, I'm not saying you gotta talk about it. It's about who knows this guy. Nobody knows him. He's not a player's coach, and he coached before. He was the coach before.
But think about it. You got that's what I'm saying. Like, you got these Black coaches, like, for example, like a Patrick Ewing. He was trying to get a coach as bad as the New York Knicks was. He was trying to get a coach to New York Knicks. New York Knicks didn't want to give him a job. He had to go to Georgetown. Like, how many times is these Black coaches, like, even like, today, like, it's a topic that we're going to be doing probably sometime in the next 2 or 3 days for our podcast. We're going to talk about Deion Sanders prime time. How he wanted to be an FSU Florida State coach. They basically didn't want him. So what he had to do, he had to go to lower to HBCU, to Jackson State. It's being announced today. I think they're about to sign a deal that he's about to be Jackson State next coach. So he got to go to the lower level. And think about it. Steve Nash, a great point guard, Hall of Fame player. Prime time, a great player, the number 1 player in his position. If you think about primetime Hall of Fame, primetime resume is way better than Steve Nash. And he can't even get it's not even a top college team coach gig because Florida State is on the bottom right now because they're not doing too well. They wouldn't even get him at Florida State. He had to go lower to lower college to HBCU. That's what you call white privilege. And Steve Nash never coached. I understand if he said Steve Nash was an assistant coach and he worked his way up, but he never coached. He never coached.
But listen, bro. I'd rather play for Penny Hardaway than Leonard Hamilton. And Florida State was a top 5 basketball program this year. Why? Because I feel like I have a better relationship with Penny Hardaway, who played the game of basketball. You know what I'm saying? And I've seen what he did with Memphis, and he got Mike Miller on his team. I'd rather go with that program in Memphis than go to FSU, who's a powerhouse this year. Because who the hell is Leonard Hamilton? That's what I'm trying to say. And these are two black niggas. I'm trying to tell you, like, you gotta have a relationship with the players. You know what I'm saying? Niggas gotta want to play for you, bro.
But that's different from what you're saying because Leonard proven that he's a great coach. For having less talent, he proved he's a good coach. Steve Nash never coached. Like, you would have had a point if Steve Nash coached. Like, he never coached. Like,
Right.
at least
You forgot.
Deion Sanders
Forgot.
was at least
Penny
Deion
had never coached, though. Penny
coached in high school. Penny coached, okay, obviously it's high school, but he coached in high school. At least Deion coached in high school. Steve Nash never coached. And think about it. Think about it.
But he
Okay,
was on the go to state bench. You know what he was.
Man, stop it. He never coached. You know he never coached. Stop it. Stop it. Steve Nash never coached. He was never coached.
Steve Kerr was never coached either.
See, but here's the thing that I'm talking about. Okay, you just said these guys like Deion Sanders, or you said Penny Hardaway. Penny Hardaway got Memphis job when Memphis is terrible. Memphis was terrible. They needed something to boost. That's why I thought even primetime would have been good for Florida State because Florida State was at the lowest point. They were terrible. And they still said no to Florida State. I'm going to say no to primetime Deion Sanders.
Florida State's Florida State.
I know it's a white school, but I get it. But
you forgot Memphis is a small ass college, man. Come on, man. The only reason that we know about Memphis is because Calipari played there. That's when he started his college career. That's the only reason we know about Memphis. Memphis is not on the map for nothing else. And of course, that's like it's a small school, bro. FSU's a powerhouse. Y'all haven't won a championship since Jameis Winston, and y'all still get recruits. They still talk about y'all. Y'all still got games on ESPN. But that's different, bro.
But think about what you just said. Like, okay, you use Penny Hardaway. That's okay. And Steve Nash. Penny Hardaway had to go to a bottom school. Steve Nash got the best. Think about it. Before Brooklyn hired Steve Nash, what was the team that we're saying is going to go to the finals next year? It was a Brooklyn Nets. That's all he had. He got the best possible job in the NBA. The best job.
What I'm trying to tell you, he got that job is because of the relationship. Man, that's his job, bro.
It's called white privilege, man. Like, think about it. You can think about it. You're
not white privilege, bro.
That is white privilege. You can't say it's not. How you get the best? Think about it. If I want to work for Microsoft or Google, I want to everybody know, okay, Microsoft or Apple is the best companies to work for in the tech world. Like, it's like you become they hire you to become the CEO for Microsoft. You like, and people look at you funny. What the fuck? Did you do any internship? Like, what did you do? You didn't do nothing. You just happened because you knew Bill Gates. Your relationship with Bill Gates, the number one guy on Microsoft. Is the reason why you're CEO of Microsoft now.
Yeah, but you acting like this man is.
That's white privilege.
You act like he has no basketball. You act like they just picked a ex-poster for the video room and say, "Hey, come coach this team." Come on, man. You being disrespectful to Steve Nash, bro.
Bro, how am I being disrespectful to Steve Nash? Okay, what do you think is more disrespectful? That primetime had to go to Jackson State University, or Steve Nash got the job at Brooklyn Nets? What do you think is more disrespectful?
Number one, that's a choice that primetime made. He could have definitely.
No, that's not a choice. He applied. He applied for a lot of colleges, and all of them turned him down. All of them turned him down. You remember last year? But it's like, primetime was trying to get FSU job. Primetime, even at one point, primetime was looking for Miami. He was looking at Miami at one point. And he was thinking about getting Ed Reed as a defensive coordinator. Like, Google it. He was looking at Miami at one point. All the big schools turned him down.
Yeah. And football's a whole different game, bro. I don't know.
All I'm just saying, it's agree to disagree. Granted, I know a lot of people say Steve Nash is a good guy. I'm not saying Steve Nash is a bad guy. This has nothing to do with Steve Nash. I'm just saying that the system sucks. As Black people, we always got to work 10 times harder. And even if we do work, like Jack the assistant coach of Brooklyn Nets, even if when you do work 10 times harder, you still don't get the same opportunity as the other person.
So you trying to tell me, so if Tyler would have got the job, what would you just said?
Tyler, you deserve to get a job. Why wouldn't he get? He's a championship coach. He know how to handle two egos as far as coaching, like two-star players. He like think about it. Think about it. Okay, yeah, you can say he had LeBron. I understand that, but Ty Lue resume, I think Ty Lue got like a 60 something percent winning percentage, and he went to what 3 finals? No, he went.
That's because he had LeBron with him.
Okay, that's what he's at. But he's a championship.
The year that he had LeBron, they fired him after like 5 games.
But then he got fired 5 games into the next season. Why they firing a coach 5 games?
So why they fired him? Why they fired him? Why they fired him?
Listen, it's an 82-game season. Who gets fired 5 games into the season?
Exactly. I mean, Tyler's gonna get a job regardless.
No, would you say he's gonna get a job regardless? But is it gonna be the great job? You know, the next job he's gonna get is the job that he got to rebuild on. Like people saying, okay, or is the New Orleans Pelicans gonna want him? But you know, New Orleans is a rebuilding job, though.
I don't want him in New Orleans.
Okay, then you want him to go to 76ers. 76ers is already a headache. It's a headache. 76ers, let's be real, 76ers is a headache. Like, think about it. Okay, you could say, okay, he won championship or because of LeBron. Okay, Eric Spoelstra, he got 2 championships. He had LeBron, Chris Bosh, and Wade. But what is he doing? You don't respect him as a coach, but all the coaches respect him as a coach, except for Beast. You're the only one that don't respect him as a coach.
I'm starting to come around with.
But you gotta respect the man's resume. Like at some point, resumes gotta matter, people. Don't resumes matter? Yeah. What's the point? What's the point doing internships now? Like, fuck it, man. It's about look.
Hey, but also you gotta know when you're looking for a job, it's also who you know. It ain't about
word of mouth. I got it.
Mouth, so it's like,
I understand, and I agree with that. But I can also say that's white privilege. Like,
yeah, but Steve Nash been doing it for a while. He been working out Kevin Durant one-on-one. He sat on the bench. He was a consultant.
Listen.
He was soaking games.
What kind of name is a consultant? No. Jerry West is a consultant. Steve Nash was just retired and he needed something to do. Stop it. Steve Nash had nothing to do with the Warriors winning the championship. That was Jerry West. Let's get real. There was about to trade Klay Thompson for Kevin Love. Jerry West stopped it. So stop it. With Kevin Durant, they was going to win a championship regardless. Just like you said about Ty Lue. So stop it. And he wasn't even in the coach. He wasn't even assistant coach. He wasn't even the third coach. He wasn't even a defensive coach. He wasn't even the offensive coach. Stop it. They just gave him a title. What was the word he used?
Huh?
What's the word he used?
I don't know. What's the word?
The word he used that Steve Nash role on the team?
I don't know. You tell me.
You said consultant?
Yeah. He was a team consultant.
You know they just made that shit up, right? It's just like
why do you think so?
It's just like the word analytics. You know they made that shit up too, right? It's basically that there's nerd dudes that they couldn't play back, like Charles Barkley said. The nerds that couldn't play basketball, they couldn't get the hot girls in high school, so they wanted a way to fit in. So they didn't know how to do math, and they just made up that word to be in sports. Stop it. You know and I know. Steve Nash was a retired player. He was just hanging out in Golden State. Stop it.
You're a funny guy, man.
No, stop it, man. Y'all need to stop giving these people credit, bro. Y'all giving these people way too much credit. No disrespect to Steve Nash. Graded. Granted, you hear Chauncey Billups said? Chauncey Billups said, damn, if Steve Nash could get a head coach job like that, Chauncey Billups was trying to be a fucking office guy, a president or a GM. Now he want to be a head coach because of Steve Nash. Now we're going to see if Chauncey Billups get a head coaching job. And mind you, Chauncey Billups went to 2 NBA finals, and he was Mr. Big Shot, and he was a final MVP. But we're about to see what kind of coaching job he get. According to Beast, white privilege did not exist.
I ain't say all that, bro.
Well, I can't tell.
You didn't say it does. Relationships. I said it's all about relationships. It's all about relationships. And Steve Nash had a relationship with Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant made sure everybody was good. They signed off it, and now he's the coach.
Then Chauncey Billups need to go call Joel Embiid or Ben Simmons and ask them how they doing, and we'll go work on. Go hire Chauncey Billups that way he can work on Ben Simmons shots, and Ben Simmons can't shoot.
Got a new set.
Steve Nash should have went on 76ers and helped Ben Simmons with his shot. They're talking about, Steve Nash helped Kevin Durant his shot. Really? So y'all finna act like Kevin Durant wasn't an MVP. Kevin Durant wasn't a great shooter before he even met Steve Nash.
Oh, no, he ain't never gonna say that. I'm definitely never gonna say that.
No.
Man, I just love the Steve Nash signing. You know what I'm saying? I think the team is gonna be great. You know what I'm saying? I just want to see who's gonna be on the staff.
All right, man. We finna wrap. Well, one more topic. One more question. Let's make it quick, short. Obviously, everybody's talking about LeBron got the easiest way to the finals now that the Clippers out of the picture. LeBron got the easiest ever. Is the easiest. It's a 90%, 95% chance to win the NBA championship. So the question is, before we get out of here, what would a championship do for LeBron? Fourth championship do for LeBron legacy if he wins? And what will happen if LeBron do not win this year's championship?
I mean, the championship ain't gonna do nothing for him because it's expected, especially now the Clippers are out the way. It's expected that LeBron wins. But if that boy lose, the man Skip Bayless #1 is gonna have a field day as #1, and he's out the GOAT conversation for sure.
I think, in my opinion, if he wins the championship, I think you got to put him #2 of the greatest of all time. You know,
he's not #2 now.
I didn't think he was, but that's just my opinion.
Who's #2?
I mean, I have to look at the list. I just didn't think he was #2. Okay, we probably do another topic about this because there's no secret. Everybody know I'm a huge Kobe fan. This is not the time or the place. I think if he wins the fourth championship, he has to be a clear #2. I don't think he's going to catch Jordan. Even though everybody want to make it seem like it's going to be a tie or he's going to pass Jordan, or he's not catching Jordan. If he does,
it's going to be a debate though.
It's not. To me, it's not a debate. I don't think he's going to pass Jordan. I mean, if you know basketball, fuck about being a fan. I'm a Kobe fan, and I'm going to admit to the world that if he wins the fourth championship, he's going to pass Kobe. #1, well, that's my opinion because I know most people got him passing Kobe anyway. But #2, if he lose this if he lose, like for example, if he goes to the finals, this would be the worst loss. If Denver beat him, he could have an excuse to be like, okay, Denver was a better team because you see what they did to the Clippers. But if he goes to the finals and he loses against Miami or Boston, which I don't think is going to happen, but we're just saying hypothetical, at the end of the day, anything can happen. I don't think it's going to happen. You think about what's going to happen if he loses in the finals again to Miami, you think what Skip is going to do?
I'm going to have a field day.
Bro, you might have to consider taking LeBron out of the top 10, bro. That's how bad.
Miami?
If he loses in the finals to Miami, bro.
Listen, but that's hard, bro. Because listen, Miami is the gritty team, right? They're the one that you have to use all your energy.
But
Boston, listen, if Boston get in there, Boston might give y'all trouble, bro.
That's what I'm saying. If he loses to Miami, because at least Boston, you could say, look, they got an all-star in.
He can't lose to nobody, bro.
No. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
If the man get to the finals, bro, he cannot lose to either Miami or Boston.
I get it. But at least Boston, you can say, okay, Jason Tatum is coming out. He's becoming a superstar. You can make an argument about, if Kemba take off, you can be like, Kemba's always an all-star. Jalen Brown's coming. But if you lose to Miami don't have no superstar. And you lose to Miami?
But Miami, that's how Miami got into the Eastern Conference Finals. They got it with no superstar.
Bro, if you lose to Miami.
Miami plays as a team, bro. You can't say that, bro.
Bees. I understand that. But if you lose to Miami with no superstar, And
You
if you
just
lose
hate
to
right now, bro.
and if you lose to Miami, Jimmy Butler's averaging 16 points, bro. Skip
How
Bayless.
much you think he averaging in the playoffs? He's not averaging that much, bro.
Yeah, he's averaging 20 points.
That's not a lot, bro. He only
That's
had
what I'm
like
saying. They don't
140
have.
point.
That's what I'm saying. They don't have a superstar. But imagine if you lose to. Okay, for example,
But they 10-1 without a superstar.
Okay,
That's what I'm trying to tell
tell
you,
you what,
brother.
bro. You know, motherfuckers don't give a damn. LeBron can't lose. Like when Barkley said he's putting his house on the line, everything on the line. Like nigga, like you're the type of nigga. If anybody come and bet you, I don't give a fuck anybody. If anybody come and bet you the bag, what you gonna put on the line? You putting everything you own on the line that LeBron James is gonna win the finals. If they play Miami, stop it. Like you know when they say, anything. You know when Kevin Garnett won the championship, he said anything is possible. Nigga, that shit is not possible.
What, did Miami win?
To Miami be Lakers, that shit's not possible, bro.
Bro,
Stop
Miami Heat is 10-1.
Hey,
And in the game we lost, Giannis didn't play.
bro.
We're 10-1 without stupid. Hey man, put some respect on Miami, bro. Now you're being
Lakers
disrespectful, bro.
Lakers got.
You're being disrespectful, bro.
I'm talking to a Heat fan right now. An average person that's just a regular basketball fan, that's not a Heat fan, that's not in South Florida, that's not repping the 305, that's not repping Wade County, aka Thornton County, because of his son and his daughter becoming his son. That's another topic for another day. An average person is looking at it in a basketball point of view. There's no way when Kevin Garnett said anything is possible, that is not possible. You know how the Army said that all you could be? You can't not beat the Los Angeles Lakers if you're the Miami Heat. That's impossible. That's not possible. It's not going to happen. And it better not happen. When Charles Bucky said that he'll bet anything in his bank account, for example, one of our home was a character. You know what I'm talking about. If the character come in and say, bro, and you know, he's that one type of nigga that might be out of the, be out of there, out of the brain, and just come and make that bet with you. Say, Beers, I bet you Miami's going to win in 5 games. What you going to say? You're not going to take that bet, Beast?
Yeah, I'm going to take that bet. Not 5 games.
But
games.
But if he comes and say Miami's going to win in 5 games, you're not going to take that bet, Beast?
Not against the Lakers.
No. If he said Miami's going to beat Lakers in 5 games, and you got the Lakers. So you're not going to take that bet?
Oh, you say if I got the Lakers?
Yeah. If the character come up to you say, hey, I got Miami in 5 games, and I'm bet you $500, you're telling me you're not going to take that bet, Beast? You got to think about it?
Yeah, I got to think about it, bro.
Listen. Bro, get out of here. Get out of here. If I come to you and say, I got Miami Heat in 5 games for $500, you're telling me you're not going to take that bet, Beast?
Listen, you have
so
to see
you
what
truly
the eye
believe
test
Miami's going to beat the Lakers in 5 games? Stop it.
You have to see what your eye test tell you, bro.
Man, I don't care. My eye test told me, my left eye, my right eye. Look, I mean, you need it, bro. Not even in 2K.
We
said
2K. The same thing about the Nuggets.
Put in story mode in 2K. Not even 2K. Miami's beating the Lakers. Stop it.
So you there's no way Miami could beat the Lakers. Just like there was no way that the Nuggets could beat the Clippers.
I'm telling you right now. You said it's the biggest upset. The Clippers losing to Denver, or the Golden State losing to Cavaliers. If that shit happened, it's gonna be the biggest upset in sports history. No.
Oh, you can't say that because Miami's the underdog.
Not in NBA history.
Miami's the sleeper, bro.
Stop it, Beast. Hey, this ain't March Madness. This ain't March Madness. Stop it. Hey, you got 7 games. You don't got 1 game. This is not the NFL. We just one and out. March Madness 1 and out. You got 7 games.
All right.
Stop it.
So Berto, if the Nuggets beat the Lakers, will you say the same thing? Because the Lakers are the clear favorites to win. The Lakers going to win within 5 or 6 games. If the Lakers lose to the Nuggets, what will you say?
Please, I just told you previously in the conversation earlier. I told you the Nuggets are dangerous. I got it
Oh,
going
not
6 or 7.
ain't dangerous, bro. So the Heat ain't dangerous.
Stop it,
Thank
bro.
you.
Stop it, bro.
Thank
Stop.
you. Hey,
The Nuggets are dangerous.
all I want to tell you is we're 2-0 in the Eastern Conference Finals, and we waiting for you.
Hey, like the Miami Heat fans on Facebook, y'all niggas keep the same energy. Keep the same
Yeah,
energy.
I'm
Hey,
good with it.
because I see y'all niggas talking a lot of shit. But beginning of the playoff, Miami fans was nowhere to be found. Now I hear people, you got people like Ubum, Cav, KO, John, all them boys are saying, oh, they seen it coming. Y'all niggas did not see that shit coming. Because if y'all seen it coming, y'all would have went to Vegas and bet on that shit.
Hey, thank God we had a podcast, and my 2 sleeper teams were Toronto, who's obviously not in the playoffs, and Miami.
Bro, you did not see.
My bet is still on. Those are my
see.
2 sleeper teams, and my sleeper team is still up. Miami, man. You know what I'm saying?
You did not see the Miami Heat dominating the way they did. They're 10-1.
No, I didn't.
No one seen that happening, bro.
But they were my sleepers.
hey, okay, we did. Okay, you did say that, but the rest of the clowns on Facebook, they did not see that coming.
Matter of fact, my 2 sleeper teams. I said the Nuggets and Portland for the West. I said Toronto and Miami for the East. And guess what? The Nuggets still in the playoffs and Miami still in the playoffs. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah,
sleepers, bro.
I mean, it's crazy. I said one of the LA teams wasn't. I think I said one of the LA team wasn't going to make it to the Western Conference Finals. I did say that.
Yeah.
And I also said I don't believe the LA team was making it to the playoffs too. I mean to the finals.
Whew. Hey man, I can't believe you so disrespectful to the Heat right now, man.
Man, the Heat, man, I love the Heat, man. Shout out to Pat Riley. Shout out to Rick Ross 305. Shout out to DJ Cali, we the best. Shout out to Wade County. Shout out to Tonton County. Shout out to all the other. Hey, look. Shout out to Andrew Gillum County. Hey man, shout out to everybody. Hey man, look, 305 man. Hey, we finna wrap this up, man. If you, hey, I know I'm gonna get trouble for that, but hey, shout out to all the counties, man. At the end of the day, man, let us know what you guys think. Let us know if you agree with us, disagree with us. Leave a comment below. Check us out on every social media platform: Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, Big Zoe Podcast, everywhere. You got anything you want to say before we get out of here, Beast?
Yeah, man. Just make sure y'all update y'all voter registration and take y'all ass to vote November 3rd, man.
Yeah, even if you voted for Trump, still update your voting registration, voter information, update all that. At the end of the day, man, it's important to vote. And we're going to drop a podcast real soon about that also. Like I said, man, Big Zoe Podcast. Hey, holla at us, man. Holla at your boys, man. We out, man. Dade County, man.
You know what I'm saying? Miami gonna win the championship, baby.
Only Miami fans think so.